What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. Welcome back into the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 22. In today's video, we're going to continue advancing through our first season here with the Pittsburgh Pirates. We have a third game against the Arizona Diamondbacks following the draft, and a critical situation has popped up for us, which is a potential complete game with Roansy Contreras, which is absolutely phenomenal. He's a complete game shutout going so far, 8 strikeouts through 8 innings pitched. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this, get us some action to start off today's video, mix it up a little bit, and then begin advancing through the rest of the month. So we are going to have the heart of the lineup up to bat here in this game. Roansy Contreras has played fantastic for us so far in this franchise. It's actually kind of wild that this early into his career he has an opportunity for a complete game shutout, but in all honesty, his performance in the minor leagues was absolutely dominant, and his performance for us so far has been dominant. Unfortunately, we are going to allow a second hit in this game, a mistake pitch from me. Nonetheless, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get somebody up and ready in the bullpen, probably David Bednar, just to be safe, just to have him ready to go. We are running somewhat low on energy, so we are potentially risking injury and things of that nature. Very good pitch there. See if we can't come up with our first strikeout here in this opportunity. Nice curveball. Get that to second base. It's at least 1 out. Not going to be quick enough for 2 outs, but Michael Chavis making a very nice play to get to that ball, stop it from getting past him, and flick it real quick over to second base. Really impressive play there by Chavis. Chavis has come along decently well for the team. He hasn't played phenomenal or anything like that, but now 1 out in the inning and only 1 runner on first base. Contreras, like I said, has developed really well for us so far. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think that he has the potential to be... Oh, thank goodness that went foul. I think he has the potential to be the future ace of this rotation. And he may even in real life for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And there's a nice strikeout. 2 batters down and 1 out to go. That's his ninth strikeout in the game. Hopefully we can potentially get 10 for him, double digits. Dalton Varsho now up to bat. And that's going to be a fly out to Reynolds. As long as Reynolds is able to get under it successfully, we will complete the complete game shutout with Roansy Contreras. And like I said, I may be saying that incorrectly. There's a bunch of different ways that announcers have been pronouncing his name so far, but their teammates seem to call him Roansy, so we're going to go with that for now until I get an exact pronunciation of his name. But there you have it, a complete game 2-hitter for Roansy Contreras, the potential future ace of our rotation. And interesting here, we are receiving an offer from the Mariners, who are interested in sending us a trade. They would like Chris Stratton, and they're considering sending us what I would assume is a prospect because of that amount of money, Alberto Rodriguez. We really don't need a whole lot of developmental prospects. If somebody were to send us somebody with a big arm and big power, I might consider it. Alberto Rodriguez does have a pretty nice arm, and he's a pretty good fielder. He's athletic as well, only 21 years old. I'm not totally against going after this guy, but we are pretty loaded in the outfield. To be quite honest with you guys, what we need, and I wish we could put it into the trade block, is power. Something that the Pirates don't have a whole lot of in the farm system or on their roster is power, and that's what you need to be able to compete in this division and in the MLB nowadays. You need to have some power, especially with the DH now introduced to the NL, and the Pirates just simply don't have it. So if we do get an offer to trade like this, where we're sending a veteran relief pitcher who's playing pretty well, if we get an offer for him for a power corner outfielder or a power first baseman or something like that, we may very well consider it. What I am very excited about, though, is we are finally going to be getting Roberto Perez back into the lineup. It says his injury is 1 to 6 days remaining, so as we go throughout the month here, we are going to see him return to the lineup and return to the organization. Now, I did bring in Reese Maguire, who is batting really well. I mean, he's a really effective catcher, all things considered, and so far he's had a 272 average. So I would really like to see him continue to play for us. I did add an alternate first base secondary position for him, so he can potentially plug in at first base for us, which would be nice. And Roberto Perez is just much more of a defensive catcher. He really can't bat well. He does have some power to add to the lineup, but we'll see what happens with that. That is going to be one of the big things to note as we move forward. And the one other roster related thing that I wanted to note is that Mason Martin is playing absolutely phenomenal in the minor leagues, and I'm going to be hard pressed not to call him up sooner or later, simply because of his 304 average and 11 home runs here in AAA. And he was in AA. He was doing really well in AA. Finally called him up to AAA. He has 138 at bats, and he is absolutely dominating down there in AAA. I just don't want to rush him up to the major leagues too soon, but the power is something that we could definitely utilize. His bat needs to certainly develop, or he might be a little bit less effective for us because his contact is not that great, and that might hinder him against MLB pitching. But hey, I might need to just give him a shot sooner or later, mainly because of how well he's been playing. And then the other thing to note here is that we did send out Yoshitomo Tsutsugo for a relief pitching prospect. Nothing big there, just a team that was competitive wanted to pick him up, so we said, hey, we'll send him out. We have Vogelbach. I like Vogelbach better, and I just signed Josh Reddick, who is a corner outfielder. He can play first base for us, mainly going to play DH, that has a strong bat. I mean, he's really not going to play that much for us, but certainly going to be a little bit better than Tsutsugo in my personal opinion, because Tsutsugo wasn't playing that well for us. And with that win, we are officially over 500. I don't necessarily see that lasting, but we are sitting at 30-29. Let's go ahead and just start to progress through. I don't have critical situations on. We'll go series by series and see what happens. Hopefully we don't pick up any major injuries, and hopefully we can, Roberto Perez comes back today. We'll auto-utilize him. And we also have Jeffrey Passantino coming back, which is probably going to trigger us to need to adjust our Major League roster real quick. But we do split this series with Detroit, a pretty ugly 3-16 loss against them in the second game. Diego Castillo did get the win for us in this would have been 2-1 outing against Detroit in the first game. We have Atlanta up next and the Cardinals. Let me go ahead and fix the roster, and I'll be back in a second. And now we should be good to go ahead and finish this series off, so let's go ahead and advance through there. Interestingly enough, we are able to get a series split with Atlanta. That is a bit surprising to me. So we are splitting our games. I mean, this is what you can hope for from this Pirates team, is to, steal a few games and hopefully stick around and hang around that 500 mark. I am a little bit surprised at how well we're doing, but I'll take that series split with a good Atlanta team. They're only 32-34 right now, which is a bit surprising to me, but we do have a tough matchup now in the Cardinals, and this is another team that is hanging around at an odd record. One thing that I've noticed in our simulation so far is that a lot of the teams that are good on paper aren't doing well in this simulation or in this franchise so far, which is just odd to me. A lot of the bottom feeder teams are doing really well. It's very strange the way that it's played out, but nonetheless, it makes it for a very interesting scenario as we continue through the month of June here. And one thing I have been doing on a routine basis with this team is scouring the waiver wire to see what is actually available out there for us to potentially pick up. I haven't found much yet, but it may happen at some point in the season that we find a gem out here on the waiver wire that a team decides to try to pass through waivers, and that could benefit us greatly. I'm really, like I said, looking for power and a big arm if I could possibly find anything like that, because like I said, that's just something that this Pirates team and organization and farm system are lacking. So without further ado, let's go ahead and advance past this Cardinals series. We do get at least one win there, as we can see, And Ben Gamble is going to pull a leg muscle, not a major injury. We'll just keep him active. We do win 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. What is going on right now with this team? It's actually kind of crazy. 2 wins right there. And what we're going to do, I'm going to end up playing a lot of games in the second half of June. I really just wanted to get some progress made with the team. So I think that's a good place to end it. It is going to be a bit of a short video here today. But nonetheless, I just wanted to get continuing on through the month. And we did get a good opportunity there with Roansy Contreras. Roansy will be back up for another opportunity here on the 17th against the Giants. And you can see that Mitch Keller is also doing well for us. He got a win 6-5 here. Probably gave up a couple more runs than I would have liked, but the team is progressing pretty well. 35-33 is kind of crazy. Only 3 games back of the Brewers right now. Now, I keep preaching that I want to keep this team at around 500. I'm just waiting for when it's going to happen that this team is going to fall off. It just hasn't happened quite yet. So nonetheless, hopefully you guys are interested and intrigued with what we got going on here. And if you guys do continue to enjoy this, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. As always, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a good one.